The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Laugh like the sun always shines, spreading will, fun times, and there's always something to remember, always something to consider.
Hi, it's Katreese Barnes and Something to Consider, and it's part 2 of my chat with singer-songwriter Brian Dunn. Let me zoom you in again. There you are.
Hi.
When we were last talking, you were talking about creating your niche.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what I was saying. About boiling down what you do to 3 or 4 things. I just think that if you can find the 3 things that you want to do and then just simplify it, I think that we make everything too complicated, especially in the music world. I think that if you like to play songs,
I mean, I've even heard actors say that they're not even getting roles unless they have enough Instagram followers.
Yeah, sure. And I'm sure that's true. You know, there's no shortage of fickle behavior. And we all do it because it's just, we're looking for a shorthand. Who am I talking to? We want that instant sort of pull. And that is just the way that culture is. But fact of the matter is, if you do what you do well and you have a will to weasel your way into things, that you're not going to walk away broke and you're not going to walk away unhappy or unfulfilled. And I think that a lot of people get there. They wait to do things until they have the right amount of money or the right amount of resources, or until they have that deal or that publishing deal. And it's like, just go make a thing, make it real, real good, and then bring it out to the world and try to get it to them in whatever capacity possible. Set your price because you need to make money so you can make another thing. But after that, I don't worry about it too much. And there are nights where I lose money, but I don't worry about it, you know, because I know that all in all, for every one of those, there's one where you go through the roof, you know. And I just try not to think about it. It's like, if I play songs and they're good songs and I play them for humans, the money takes care of itself.
Now, do you ever do cover tune gigs?
No, I used to when I moved here, but those to me were just as bad as not playing at all. You know, for me, I as an artist, I felt like I felt even worse somehow. I felt like I wasn't working a day gig. I felt like I was taking the thing that I loved and bastardizing it. But that's just how I felt. I'm sure that other people have strong opinions the other way, or don't think it's too bad. But
Some people feel as long as they're singing or playing that they don't really care, as long as you know.
I mean, singing and playing is my passion, but singing and playing Dancing Queen is not my passion. You know, so I felt that my skill level exceeded that, and that's not me trying to be pretentious. I just felt like I wasn't living up to my own abilities. And I remember when I quit, I had to throw myself off the deep end. I went into whatever year it was. That next year I quit in December 16th, like the middle of the month. And starting in January, I had $0 of work lined up for the next year. And I remember just thinking, like, this is the risk that I have to take, that if I believe that my songs are good and that they will equate to me making money, then I need to put my money where my mouth is.
Do you think that the style of music you do, like the Americana or American, am I right when I say Americana or
Americana? Yeah, sure.
Do you think there's more of a market for that than others? Because I'm having a hard time finding and seeing people navigate as easily with, say, R&B or soul.
It depends. The thing is, I mean, there's certainly the sort of the guitar in hand troubadour sort of aesthetic lends itself to the genre, most certainly. But I think that honestly, there's markets for everything everywhere, and especially we live here in New York City, where it's if you can make R&B here, you can go kill it in Columbus. You know what I mean? And what I think it is that people are a little afraid to go get in their cars and try it in Columbus because there is a chance that it might not work out, and then you're in Columbus, and that is the risk you take.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are afraid to spend a lot of money on their projects. It's a lot of things, because
Yeah, but you have to, if you think that it's good enough, you have to. And if you don't want to, it might be an indication that it's not good enough. And if you do, it has to be. So you will rise to the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my last record is my strongest record. And yeah, I've gotten better and I have better stories to tell.
Okay, let me pull up that cover of that record.
Yeah, thank you.
I do have that cover. Here's Brian's. Say the title.
Yeah.
Because I keep calling it Butt Fixes. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's all good.
What is it?
Butt Fixes and Performance Improvements.
Okay.
It's a play on that concept that I felt like it had to be my best record because it had to be. So it is. And my next one has to be better. Because it has to be. Because I need to, keep the lights on here.
There was one song you did that live at Rockwood the other week about, my mother and I really enjoyed it, about, it was kind of like, it was a political song about, what was it? I forgot the title.
Oh, yeah, that's a brand new song that's going to be on the new record. It's called Nothing Matters Anymore.
Nothing Matters Anymore, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't I try not to be overtly political about it, but there's some political schmutz in there.
But it didn't feel offensive. It felt just right for what's going on right now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've never really touched upon anything that was political. And what's important is I don't feel like I don't want to preach my ideology. I just want to share what I see as the reality of the world that we're living in. And I think at this point, like, if you want to tell stories about humans, especially humans here in New York, how can you leave that guy out of the conversation? It's everywhere.
Right, but you never even said his name. You just, did you say, you did say it. You did.
I mentioned the president.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you did.
I rhyme it with the truth is irrelevant. So I was particularly proud of that.
Yeah. Can you do one verse of it?
Yeah, hang on. Let me get my acoustic.
Okay. He's going to do a little verse of Nothing Matters Anymore.
Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can. Just give me a sec. It's in drop G. Hang on, I'm very complicated with my tunings.
This was not planned, so
All right. This is the verse you're talking about. Nothing matters anymore, she said. All the truth is irrelevant. Just look at the president. Can you believe this shit? All the while I was thinking about this girl I met outside a bar downtown. She'd been giving me the runaround. I was waiting for the hint. She said she lived in LA, but now that all of her debts were paid, she'd like to move to New York someday. If she could only swing around. It just works like that. You learn to live or it breaks your back. I believe Rick James said that. Is that right? Oh, yes, I'm sure. I used to worry about the way I talk. I used to think about the way I thought. I used to talk about myself a lot, but nothing matters anymore.
Nice. Love it. What'd you say?
Just a sneak peek.
That's a teaser. So people are going to have to go out and buy, well, they have to buy the last one and this one when it comes out. I just love the concept. And I didn't think it was like overtly in your face what you were saying. It didn't seem mean. It didn't seem, like, even if you were somebody who supported him, you have to just back up like right now and go like, that wasn't cool, man. There's a lot of, come on, dude. That wasn't cool, man. Come on.
There are some people that are clinging on for dear life, so I don't.
They are, and that is kind of like even if you don't, even if you're not that person who'll say, he can go to hell. Sometimes you just got to say, man, that was just not cool.
I agree, but yeah. I don't know. I evidently didn't know how about 50% of the people think. So, yeah, I don't know.
50. Okay, so we had a little technical difficulties. I think it was the Secret Service.
It's possible. Yeah.
But I thought that your song was a brilliant way of saying something without it being, I mean, it has a little humor in it.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to write a little bit more with sort of my sensibilities. I find that sometimes I get so, my songs can be so sincere and sort of like earnest and serious, and I'm not a very serious person at all. I'm a very silly person. So,
really? Well, like I said, I learned that at your show. I had no idea how funny you are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. I don't know. I just, also because eventually if you try to hide a piece of yourself in your work, it comes out anyways. So.
Oh, then people are going to have to wait for me because I am so dark.
Well, yeah, dude, bring it out, Yeah.
I keep my TV on Investigation Discovery Channel.
Oh, well, that's cool. I mean, yeah, you should write about that, right?
and the zombies.
I would listen.
Dark.
I listen to songs about zombies.
You wrote a song about a zombie?
No, I would listen to one though.
Well, you know what it is more is about, like, say a show like The Walking Dead. To me, it shows that if there was no order, what could happen? Like we complain about this and that, security, police, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Try doing without it.
For sure. I mean, there's science fiction tells a lot of truth too.
Yes.
And I always wasn't a big like sci-fi guy, but these days I feel because I feel like I'm living in the Matrix or something. I've been totally down with it.
The Matrix?
No, just I mean. Just sci-fi in general.
What are some of your favorite sci-fi?
Well, I think like everybody, I watch Stranger Things. I watch Black Mirror too. I feel like these are closer to our reality than some of the sort of biopics and nonfiction.
Yeah, I just watched the first season of Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. But that might be the world that we are living in right now, the upside down.
Yeah, for sure.
So what about you? Do you? I know it's supposed to be an interview of me, but you were the musical director on Saturday Night Live. Did I get that wrong?
Yes.
Okay, because I saw your Emmys when I walked in, and I was like, oh, because people lie sometimes.
Right. Oh my God, you're so right. Oh yeah, I work with so and so and so.
Yeah, and I was like, I thought, I don't know if she really was, but I'll go see. And then, but yeah, and then, what years were you there?
2000 to 2011.
Oh, cool. Those are good years. Those were my years because this is when I was in high school. I feel like everybody identifies most closely with the Saturday Night Live they grew up with in high school, right?
Yeah.
And then since 2011, you've been sort of working on your own stuff.
Well, I did a couple shows after that, and now I'm trying to do more of my own stuff. Yeah.
Oh, cool. And is that a full dedication that you have to doing just
Oh
your
yeah.
stuff right now, though?
Yep.
So
For
nothing
sure.
else going on. Like you're kind of not doing TV right now, right?
I'm not doing TV, but I'm doing freelancing on gigs.
Right. And obviously, these shows are how long have these been going on?
A year and a half. I've been
Okay,
doing
cool.
Welcome to My House a year and a half,
Yeah.
and we're planning on taking it on the road. And after we get some sponsors set up,
Oh, cool.
and
Really?
like, yeah, we're gonna take it on the road and you know, find artists all across the country and
Awesome.
perform in other people's living rooms and
Yeah. Hell yeah.
yeah, it's taken a year and a half to kind of even get to this point
Hmm.
where we have generated interest in sponsorship and getting other gigs.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
because I do want the focus to be featuring what I call classic music artists,
Hmm.
people who just write really good songs.
Hmm.
It's not enough to be like, I've heard a lot of amazing singers, but they don't have projects out. They don't have their own original music. They're just doing covers,
Yeah.
and that's a big deal for me in the show. It's like, sorry, you're not. You can't do covers here. You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to do an original song. And you know what? Then people realize how hard it is to be artistic.
Yeah. I mean, I think that when people think that I don't think of playing covers as really doing the job. And I think I think when you're doing the cover thing, you sort of bend your mind to believe that you are doing the job. And then to jump from that to doing what people call their original thing
Yeah.
is like, you're in for a rude awakening, you know?
I mean, if somebody did covers like even years ago when people would record the same song,
Yeah.
like how many heard it through the grapevines or
I know, right? In the same like 3-year span. Isn't that
yes.
crazy? Too?
But
Yeah.
they interpret it in such a way that it was still artistic, like it was still very much an individual sound or arrangement
Right.
specific
No,
to
totally. Because I mean, I heard it through the grapevine. You got Marvin's the first, right? And then Gladys Knight, and then Diana Ross cut a version, and then Creedence cut a version.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, and it's one of their. Yeah, it was sort of. It wasn't it wasn't like an A hit for Creedence, but it was like a B hit for Creedence. I think they cut it in 71, so Marvin probably cut it in what 67. That's like, and they were probably the last. So in the span of 4 years,
Yes.
5 charting singles of the same song.
I mean, there are still people who do covers, but still arrange them in a cool way. I just don't want to hear someone doing a karaoke cover like straight off of the.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
new generation, it kind of it all got saturated. Your
Yeah.
acoustic cover of a new pop song that you just slowed down, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, now it's thoughtful.
Right. No. No. But I can't tell you. It's that, or people will approach me and like rappers will say, "Yeah, can I be on your show?" I was like, "Well, I haven't really figured that out yet because, I've been arranging for the singers and stuff who have songs, and I feel like there are more vehicles for hip hop artists than classic music artists. So that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a thought either way on that, but yeah. I mean, whatever you think.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I think there are more vehicles. I've seen more vehicles provided for hip hop than for classic music.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the future plan for Welcome to My House, right?
That is the future plan.
All right, very cool.
And I assume very similarly to you, there are people who might have EPs out, might be playing locally, and even though you don't do covers, there have been a couple people here who've done the show who make a living doing covers but have great projects
Mm-hmm.
on their own, but they haven't really been able to give up their cover tune gigs yet.
Yeah, well, it's definitely quicksand. It definitely gets you into a routine where you get used to a certain type of it's not that it pays a lot of money, but it comes with a certain frequency, and I think that people get very used to that. And musicians who are often so close to the edge financially, I think that people really don't know how to let go of that financial safety. Even sometimes, and it's a lot of times, it's not very impressive financial safety. I know from having done it for a number of years, it's not anything that's not worth giving up, but at the moment, it feels like it is. Feels like you'll never make $175 again.
That's interesting. You compared it to a frequency. Is that how you? Is that how you visualize how you get there? Is shifting the frequency?
I don't know, because I don't think any. I'm definitely an artist who works in volume. I write a lot of songs. I play a lot of shows. I put out a lot of music. But I do know that, like, at a certain point in my life, I would go do one 4-hour gig for $75 and go do another 4-hour gig for $75 when I could have been playing an hour's worth of my music for $300. But I was too afraid to try, you know.
Interesting. And then once you tried, you got more of it.
Once I tried it, it really, the wheels started turning. It was really hard. I'm not saying like the pearly gates opened and I was ushered into heaven, but I was surprised how even when it was bad, it was survivable. And when it was good, it was so good. Both financially and fulfillment wise.
Interesting. You know, it's funny. I still open up my little Welcome to My House show with a cover, but the whole point of doing the cover with the strings is to show that a lot of the current music could still sound kind of cool if they weren't, if everything wasn't so digital.
Yeah, for sure. And that's much, much different than what we're talking about. And even artists that infuse covers, you know, into their shows. I mean, tons of people do that.
Yeah.
It's just more of like striking at bringing something to the world as opposed to living someone else's dream.
Yeah, because some people write songs that you just want to sing. Like, oh my God, I just want to sing that song.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that it's a matter of, and I just say this because I'm sensitive to it, because I know a lot of people that do those things out of fear. You know, they don't want to. Their true passion is to perform their own music, but they are too afraid to do it, especially in the city.
Now, do you think it's an age thing? Because at some point, some people are like, well,
you think they take out, you mean?
Yeah. Do you think that because, you know?
I mean, in what I do, your age is only works in your benefit. I've constantly been sort of like disregarded for being too young often. But that's maybe, again, that might fit into that same sort of trope as the troubadour thing, where it's like, you know, you're the storyteller. So people want, you know, a wise person in front of them telling them stories. Maybe, I don't know. Because there's a lot of people that are my age that are really stuck in the mud with that stuff. And I mean, some of them are happy. I think that if you're happy, you should do whatever makes you happy. You know, not everybody is supposed to be a songwriter. Not everybody is supposed to be their own artist. Not everybody, you know what I mean? Nor do they want to be. But for the people that do, I think that that leap of faith, it's if you're not already good, it'll make you good.
Right.
Because you have to, or you'll die. Yeah.
You know, just, you know, and even like, I mean, even when I was at SNL, I mean, that was a job. It wasn't like, you know, I worked for people. I had to write music for them. It wasn't like original. I kind of got lost in the sauce in a way there because I wasn't doing my own music, say, as an artist.
See, that's when I feel like it probably becomes the toughest thing. The people that I know that have had the hardest struggle with that are when people get not a job, but the best job.
Yeah.
Doing something that maybe is not entirely representative of their voice, but it is undeniable, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want to be Miss Dick in a Box for the rest of my life.
Right. Yeah, for several reasons. It's a bad nickname. But no, I know what you mean. It's but like, how do you say no to that gig if you're qualified to do
Right.
the gig too?
Yeah. And it was, don't get me wrong, I learned a lot from that, and it was worthy of my time. I was just saying that I wasn't really focusing on my own personal artistry then. And now, in doing so, it's just not that easy to regain an audience.
That's true. I mean, the audience kind of, it's not that they disappear, but they can feel you when there's heat on you. They can,
Yeah.
when it's kind of like, I think that people becoming fans of new artists, it's a little bit like trying out a new party,
Yep.
People are like, oh, I heard people are having fun over here. Let's go see what it's about.
Yeah.
And then there is some level of like, it's kind of hard to start a party after
11 years. And we are out of time again.
Yeah, I tend to do that to people.
And well, I'm glad you could take the time out to do this. I hope people will buy your last project and your new project from listening. Brian Dunn, you can get him on iTunes. Where's iTunes?
All that stuff. Brian Dunn.
All the places. Just Google
Spotify,
Brian Dunn. Go to his website and
do it.
Download the music. Just do it.
Yeah.
We need to keep this classic music alive. All right.
All right. Thanks, Katreese.
Oh, thank you. All right. This has been Katreese Barnes, Something to Consider. Join me every Thursday at 9 p.m. See you next week.
Through the night.